let's look at an example using divisibility. So our example asks us to determine whether 36 is divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the way to determine divisibility is to divide 36 by each of these numbers. And let's see what happens when we do that. So let's begin by dividing 36 by 2. 36 divided by 2. So 3 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And I subtract 2 from 3 to get a remainder here of 1. You can also ask yourself, what number can I multiply 2 by to get as close to 3 as possible, but under 3? So that number is 1, and I do 1 times 2 equals 2, subtract it from 3 to get this remainder here of 1, but I still have another number to pull down here, my 6. So I bring the 6 down, and 16 divided by 2 is the problem that I'm looking at now. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. So I place my 8 here, and I multiply 8 times 2 equals 16. Subtract it from the 16, and I end up with 0. And so I'm finished with my problem. There's no more numbers to pull down here from the dividend, and so I know that I can stop. I can also see that I have no remainder. When this number here equals 0, I'm finished and I have no remainder. So 36 divided by 2 equals 18 with no remainder. Since 18 is a whole number and I have no remainder, that tells me that yes, 36 is divisible by 2. So I'm going to circle the 2 up here in my problem to keep track of which ones are divisible. So let's move on then to dividing 36 divided by 3 and see if 36 is divisible by 3. So I have 36 divided by 3. So what number can I multiply 3 by to get 3 or under? I can multiply by 1. So I can put my 1 right here. 1 times 3 equals 3. And I subtract. 3 minus 3 equals 0. I'm not finished yet though because I still have another number here. So I pull down this 6. And I can either say 6 divided by 3 equals what? Or I can ask myself, what number can I multiply 3 by to get as close to 6, but equal to or less than 6 as possible, and I know that that number is 2. So I can put my 2 here. 2 times 3 equals 6, and I subtract 6 minus 6 equals 0. I'm finished doing the division on this problem now because there are no more numbers for me to pull down here. And again, on this one, I can see that my remainder equals 0. So 36 divided by 3 equals 12, remainder 0. And since 12 is a whole number and the remainder is 0, this tells me that yes, 36 is divisible by 3. The quotient is a whole number with no remainder. Let's look at what happens when we divide 36 by 4. So I have 36 divided by 4. Now in this case, since 4 is larger than 3, I'm going to start by moving over to this next number and use start my long division there. So I'm going to ask myself, what number do I multiply 4 by? What's the largest whole number that I multiply by 4 to get as close to 36 as possible? And since I have all of my multiplication tables memorized, as I'm sure you do too with lots of practice, I know that 9 times 4 equals 36. So 36 divided by 4 equals 9. And I can place that 9 right here above the 6 since I started by moving over to the second digit to do my division. And then I can go ahead and finish off 9 times 4 equals 36. write the 36 here so that I confirm that I have no remainder. So again, on this problem, I see that 36 divided by 4 equals 9 with no remainder. I'm finished with my with my division because I don't have another number to pull down here. And I can see that since I have a whole number quotient with no remainder, that yes, 36 is divisible by 4. So I'm going to circle the 4 here in my answer. So it looks like I have 2 more division problems to do. We need to do 36 divided by 5 and 36 divided by 6 to see if 36 is divisible by 5 and by 6. So let's look at 36 divided by 5. I'll sneak it in right here. If I have 36 divided by 5. And again, I can ask myself the question, what do I multiply, what's the largest whole number that I can multiply by 5 to get as close to 36 as possible, but be under or equal to 36? So knowing my multiplication tables, I know that 7 times 5 equals 35, and that's the closest I can get to 36. So I'm going to place my 7 here. So 7 times 5 equals 35, and I write that below the 36 and subtract. 36 minus 35 equals 1. And I am finished doing the division on this problem because there's not another number here to pull down after the 6, so I know that I am finished. However, on this problem, I have a remainder. So my answer to the division is going to be 36 divided by 5 equals 7 remainder 1. Since I have a remainder on this division problem, that tells me that 36 is not divisible by 5. So 5 is a no here. I'll go ahead and cross that one out. And our last division problem is a really simple one. We should have this one memorized as well. And that is 36 divided by 6. We know that 6 times 6 equals 36. So 36 divided by 6 equals 6. Place my 36 here, subtract and put a 0 to show that I have no remainder when I divide 36 by 6. Whole number quotient with no remainder tells me that yes, 36 is divisible by 6. So we have determined that 36 is divisible by 2, 3, 4, and 6.